It is Wednesday, October 5th, 2022 at 4:59 or in about was it 3 seconds? 5 p.m. And I'm here in my room. It's a complete mess. As you can see, I have pizza here, and I mean, if you saw what all this looked like, you'd see it's a pretty big mess. And also, I'm kind of sick right now. Uh, I have a sore throat and I have some nasal congestion. But besides that, I had a headache this morning. But besides that, I've been pretty okay. As in the uh, the sickness. Anyways, I fell asleep around 9. Like I'd say I'm confident I slept around 9:30, if not even before 9:30. But I woke up at like 10 today. And I think a part of that was due to just I got sick overnight, and my body was trying to recuperate from that. So yeah, but what I really want to talk about today was kind of the general, um, my general environment and how I've been kind of lying to myself, basically. And I think it's finally time to address it and just put it out flat that even though my pride goes completely against it, my ego goes completely against it, or against admitting it, um, I'm not doing okay, and mentally I'm okay, but like I remember I made a few videos before where I was like, I need to get my shit together, and I gotta fix this, I gotta fix that, I actually gotta focus and stuff like that. And in each of those videos, I think I was like, you know, as much as I was pretending to tell the truth, I actually wasn't really telling all the truth. I was still saying like, oh, the business is going well. I'm gonna put this together, put this system, improve this. In like a couple of months, we'll have everything figured out. But in which if I was actually productive, actually put the time and actually focus and actually did the work and did the things I said I was gonna do, maybe, maybe. Um, but I haven't, and I haven't been putting the work in. I haven't been focusing. I've been half-assing everything. I've been pushing things off, and I've been lying to myself. And every day I wake up. There's some days where I'm pretty productive, but I'm very inconsistent, and I am. And it's kind of starting to show. I mean, again, we'll be fine over this winter season, but this morning before my dad left, he had an installation to do for some flashing. It's just like a little side job he's doing for his friend Kingston, and he was talking about how we want to set aside some cash for the taxes. Excuse me, and that totally makes sense, right? But then like that got me thinking like, oh, we don't really need to worry about that as much. Like, I mean, we still need to worry about it, obviously, but not as much. Because especially when you make income tax, right? Um, you get charged a percentage off the total amount that you make, right? And if you spend majority of your money, you might not have enough left over. But for business and corporation, it's a bit different where you pay the taxes for the amount that is left over after all the expenses that you have paid. And um in that part, it was kind of like a little blanket I put over, just thinking about the thing about tax. But then when my dad said that, I kind of looked at myself. I was like, we should be fine, right? Um, hold on, I want to blow my nose. Give me a second. Okay. And the thing is, I never really um fact checked that, and I'm sure it's true. Um, but I never really looked into it. Here, I'll probably do it after the video. So it's been kind of that looming thought that I'm like, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. We don't have to worry about it because our tax is different, and I'm sure that because I see um every month we get charged. We're sending an amount to the CRA. Our accountant is doing that and sending the checks from our account to the CRA automatically. So I'm like, okay, we're paying some sort of tax, but it isn't like a significant amount of tax that we're paying. It's like I think 800 or 900 per month. Let's just do 850. Uh, yeah, which equates to about 10,000. Also, I got a new screen protector. Um, See, there's a little air bubble there, but um, we went shopping yesterday. Actually, oh, okay, okay. Actually, yeah, I'll go through kind of the more personal stuff right now. So, so me and my dad got some new shoes yesterday. We went shopping. I also got the screen protector there, but we got these shoes. Um, there's a superstar. Uh, and you know what I realized? I'm actually a size 10, in which I used to say I'm a size 11. But I guess I'm a 10 and a half. But also, these shoes, these are the exact same ones that I got last time. They're these ones. Except if you look at them, there's quite a big difference, right? And on the old ones, you can there's literally a hole you can like stick your finger through, right? So there's also this is ripping. I can also put my finger in there. So whenever it would rain or step in a puddle or something like that, my socks would get wet. But yeah. But I also realized I can fit actually a 10 is probably more ideal for me. And I thought I was an 11 for like a year and a half or maybe even 2 years. Which that doesn't make sense. I don't know how I thought that. But yeah. So hopefully these few fit well. And if not, I'll get a 10 and a half. I'll exchange them. But yeah. And I also got a new screen protector because I'm sure you can remember when my screen protector was completely cracked and cracks literally all over the screen. And and but when we put this new screen protector on, got it for 35 bucks. This phone looks like brand new. And I was like, what the freak? Anyways, it was fun there. I was supposed to get some uh new kind of dress pants, but didn't have the ones that I wanted there. And I went to Stockholm, uh and their pants are really bad there. I dislike them, so I think I'll look into some other options. But anyways, my throat hurts. But I woke up feeling really well. I woke up like I wasn't tired when I woke up. I overslept, right? I remember I woke up a few times, then I just went back to sleep. Woke up a few times, went back to sleep, but I didn't feel like I overslept. I think my body was just like needed that rest to fight the sickness I have right now. But um, I'm starting to realize I don't really like pizza that much anymore, and I think it's because I've been eating it a lot, and I also think I've been eating a lot because I've been stressed out a lot. And pizza is my comfort food because whenever I like to relax, or the times where I have relaxed, I was just having fun, playing games, watching YouTube. A lot of the times pizza was there. So I think whenever I'm stressed or down, I'm like, oh, let's just get some pizza and chill. And then I get the pizza and I try and chill, but it doesn't really, I don't fully get there. So, well, one, just in general, if you eat food multiple times, it starts to get boring. But two, um, I'm trying to use it to relax a little bit too much, but kind of going back to the main point of this video is that I as as embarrassing as it is to say and admit, the business hasn't been going that well. And my ego and my pride and who I want to be is who I want to present myself as, this um prodigy, this very organized, snappy businessman, entrepreneur, that can get shit done. But in reality, I can't get anything done. I can't focus at all. I procrastinate a lot. I push things off, and I don't fulfill on the things that I say I'm going to fulfill on. And I want to change that. I really do. And I always thought to myself that there's just gonna be this one moment, this spark that's just gonna inflame me into this person that I want to be, right? Because there's multiple times where like um, I'm not sober, whether that being high or drunk. Um, I'd be like, this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna get it all out tonight, and then in the morning I'm gonna work hard and get to all the stuff and change my life. And then I drink the night away, and I think I'm like, oh, just go hard this one night, and just get slammed, and then that's gonna be it. But that's not how it is. There's no like single moment that's gonna be a radical change, right? Um, there can be moments that have a significant part in a change, right? But there's not gonna be one moment. There's not gonna be one day where it's just like it changed forever. Or I mean, like there can be like maybe today, where I finally admit it. I could like I'm not the person who I say I am, right? This is probably you could probably say, I don't know, I could completely relapse in the future, but um, you could say that this was a radical change day where it changed from this day forward, right? But a day where I'm trying to party my the night away, and then after that, it's gonna be changed forever. No, that's not how it's gonna work. Excuse me. I have to build. Excuse me. I have to build my character together. I have to um, build the person that I want to be, and how fast that actually happens does depend on me. How effective I do that does depend on me. Because the thing is, you could have a very fast change, right? Um, like a change that could even happen within like a month or 2 months. In a couple of months, you could completely be a different person. But that change completely depends on you and how committed you are to changing like that, right? Like, I think a good way to put it is like if you're a chain smoker, technically you could just stop tomorrow, right? Technically, but it isn't easy to do that. You need to suffer a lot, um, and go through withdrawals, especially if you change in one day, right? Same thing with a month, 2 months, 3 months as a chain smoker going to not smoking at all, or the goal is to not smoke at all. The best and most subtle route is just to do it gradually. You know, um, but I think the faster you want to change, the more you have to suffer. Um, or at least not suffer, just the more you have to accept some new realities and be able to change and accept things, take things out of your life and remove them, and then add new things. It doesn't have to be labeled as suffering or that you have to suffer, but there's going to be a significant amount of change that you have to accept for that to happen within the time that you want it to happen, right? And some things that change may come with some pain or suffering, but that's a part of it. And if you want that change to happen really tightly, um, you know, it might hurt a lot more. Um, if that makes sense at all. Uh, I think, because I was thinking, because we put out some more job posting on LinkedIn. And this guy, I think is Keith, right? Future me, you should know him if you hired him. um, he has a lot of experience, like a lot of experience in the roofing industry. He's been a roofer for 23 years. He has a degree in structural engineering or something like that. He used to lead a he used to be a crew chief at Penfolds, which is one of the big roofing companies here in the Lower Mainland area. And he also has run his own roofing company. Um, so he has a lot of experience and he can add a lot of value to us and this business if we do incorporate him. But the more that I kind of piece together what, like, if we do hire him, what I can kind of, um, you know, uh, how he can help this business, it really makes me think about how a big limiter of growing is my dad and like the business, right? Because what my dad wants is a small um, family company, family business. He claims he wants to build a business that works and hire more people, but every time we talk about bringing Sheldon along onto the business, in which in about 3 weeks he'll be quitting his job at the night market and working with us full time. The second my dad hears about that, he's like, "Oh, amazing, amazing, amazing! We can have another worker on the roof." And then he's like, "Imagine if it's all four of us, me, you, Nettie, Sheldon, working on one roof. One roof would be done so fast." And then I just I like just agree with him, but then in the back of my mind, I'm just like I'm trying to avoid the question or avoid the statement and being like, "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, sure, okay." And I don't know how to like tell him that that's not, you know, how we're gonna build them like our wealth as a family, right? Because what my dad's idea, um, because I mean, we all collectively want to buy a house soon, right? But then, um, I told my dad, I'm like, he's like, oh, because well, I mean, it happened multiple times, right? But um, me and my dad are like talking about the future, or like, I'm like, oh, with our house, we could have like Kingston. He can build our house for us, right? We can work with him. And then he's like, oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be cool. He's like, but the money, man, we have to be careful with it. And when in respect, we do have to be careful with this money and stretch the dollar as much as we can. But um, he wants to have the business like a job. It's not a business at all, the way he's talking about it. He wants to get a job, do the job, get the money, save the money, right? That is literally what a job is. Or, yeah, well, basically, right? And he keeps comparing us to his cousin Walter, which recently bought a house, and which I recently saw, and which I'm like, he could have gotten a better house because he bought it for 1.9 million, but it was completely run down, and it looked like a crack shack. It's kind of mean, but it looked like a very worn down, looked like it was really old. And which you think like, oh, the property that you bought was probably just for the land, in which most properties are for that, or at least investment properties, right? But the thing is, it's like he's trying to flip it and like not tear it down, build a new one, and then sell it for like 2.9 million, let's say, right? No, he's trying to like slowly adds a little bit more value to it by like changing the roof, changing the fascia, adding some new paint. Yeah. Anyways, um, uh, yeah. And then my dad keeps comparing us to his cousin Walter, right? And then he's like, he already bought a house, and I'm like, yeah, but Dad, the we want to buy a house within the next 5 years. Walter is like nearing his 60s now, right? Well, I'm pretty sure he's like, okay, that's fine. Like, um, she's not that old. He's probably like in his like late 40s, maybe like, he's around the same age as my dad, which my dad is 52, right? So he's around that age. And I'm like, yeah, but he probably saved for years and years and years to buy this house, right? And then the way we want to do it, we want to do it in a short amount of time. The way we have to do it is going to be completely different to how he did it. And my dad kind of paused there for a second, like he understood that, but it seems like it hasn't really stuck with him, right? So, um, ironically, the thing that has gotten me into this industry, into the business, is my dad. But the one thing that's now limiting me is my dad, right? I'm getting a little bit tired. Give me a second. Um, so I think this has kind of transitioned to how I plan to fix my lack of action, my lack of focus, and my lack of following through with what I say. Um, is Here's my plan. So I think Keith, um, the guy that we could possibly hire, the guy that applied, if we do end up hiring him, he'd probably start next year. for the next season. And he would probably be like well, kind of like he was at Penfolds, but maybe a little bit more. Uh, he'd be team leader. And while we're waiting for the season to start, we're kind of collecting people to be on his crew. And because the thing is, I'm confident. I'm very confident. I'm extremely confident that I can get us houses. I can sell houses and get us jobs so we can get these people working. I'm terrified to do that. I'm terrified. Like, what happens if I don't? Right? That's one thing that's like been lingering in my mind ever since I thought about this plan. Right? Um, but the thing is, the more I thought about that plan was like, I know my dad's gonna be a big resistor to that idea, right? He wants this to be just us four. And the thing is, it's so confusing because my dad contradicts himself so many times, like with the plans of the future. Because he's like, I want it to be me, you, Nettie, and Sheldon working on this. We can make so much money. I'm like, yeah, that could be true, but you know how much work we would have to do in that amount of time? Because we've only done like a few jobs in the past um, like 2 months, right? And we're exhausted because it's just us three. Um, sorry. Yeah, and then we finished the Cece, right? We finished her job, and excuse me. Uh, excuse me. Yeah, so we finished her job, and then my dad's like, I don't want to like work much longer, or I don't want to work this hard much longer, right? And then I'm like, yeah, it's true. And my plan is to retire my dad hopefully next year, if not the year after that. I told my dad, I'm like, you will retire within the next 2 years. And then I don't know, it's very hard with my dad to kind of change any of his beliefs and what he wants. Um, and because the thing is, I always think if I present my dad with the right information that he'll like understand and be like, oh, right. But even so, it's just like I've done that a few times with like kind of more like small things. Um, I remember one time I kind of try to bring up the fact that like the way he does work might not be the best way he does like to do work. And which I mean by like where I was talking about hiring people, right? I was kind of explaining like if we hire someone with this much experience, they've gone to schooling for roofing, that they might be installing shingles different to him, and that they might, show that he's not been doing it right. And I'm like, I tried to kind of tell him lightly. I'm like, they might do, shingles, differently, because they went to the education and stuff like that. And then he was like, no, no, I'm doing it right. Like, no, no, I don't want to hire people like that. I'm like, I don't remember the conversation like exactly, but it was something along the lines that he was opposed to it, right? I'm just like, because I feel even if I went to, because what I want to do during this off season is also go to school for the roof inspection, so I can actually know what I'm talking about when I talk to clients. I mean, I generally know now what I'm talking about, but I need to know like exactly and precisely what I'm saying So that's what I plan to do. But I feel that even if I went to school, like me, went to school for a roof, being to become a roof inspector, and I told my dad that he's doing this part wrong, he'd be like, "Nope, you know, I've been doing it right." I'm like, "What's the point of me going to school if you're just gonna be like, oh, no, you're wrong?" So yeah. Uh, anyways, I'm getting really tired and I'm exhausted, so I think I'm gonna eat pizza a little bit less and not order it when I'm stressed out because I love pizza and I don't want to hate it, and I'd love to still eat it when I'm like kind of down. So let's not ruin pizza for future me. But also, I think it's time to finally accept that I'm not as good as I say I am in how I present myself. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Um, I don't know uh, where to start. I have a plan that I'm working on. I'm very hopeful, very confident for the future, but me right now is not, I'm not able to do that. I need to become a person that can do that, and that's what I will become. And I will, just period. I will become a person that is capable of this. But yeah, um, today is a day of acceptance that I'm not as good as I say I am. And I'm okay with that. I really am. Because it has given me a clear view of what I actually need to do, in which even though um more specifically Alex Ramosi has told me to do, or well, he hasn't told me to do, but in his videos he keeps preaching that most entrepreneurs and business people know what they have to do, but then don't do it, or they try and avoid it, or think that they can, somehow go around it until they finally realize that they need to do it and that it was there all along. And I think he calls it singe moments, which is very, very eerie because that is exactly what I'm doing right now. It's like I realize that it's been in front of me this entire time. But with each day, I'll improve, and I sure will try my best. And I want to get out of this era of worry and financial dread and financial uncertainty. I want my dad to retire. I want to buy my dad a farm. I want him to relax, and I also want my family to relax. My near future goal is to have like, uh, well, basically retire my entire family, my entire like slight outreach family. So like Yahida and her family, Rosalina and her family, and then my family. Um, so technically, they could just, you know, uh, relax as just as much as my dad. So one day I'll buy a big plot of land, and then we'll have like a little village there and have a farm, and they can tend to their farm while I build an empire, a business empire. But one step at a time. So, um, I think I'm just gonna relax for today, not put any pressure on myself today. Hopefully, I can get over this sickness today, and then tomorrow I'll be better than I was today. I won't try and tackle the world tomorrow, but be better than I was today. Anyways, it is so I'm like almost on the verge of crying. Like I don't feel emotional. I feel like crying. Um, It is Wednesday, 5th. No, wait. Wednesday, October 5th, 2022 at 5:54 p.m. And yeah, I'll see you on my next video, which I don't know when that'll be, but